Okay.
You ready?
Yeah, all set. So this is the Ben and Gary show. We know dentistry, and sorry I don't have Gary with me. He's out of the office today, so we're gonna have to just go alone. So next question I got was a really good one, and it's not really gonna take that long to really answer this one here. And there's an individual that said, I had orthodontics before getting 9 crowns on cosmetic work on their mouth, and so they must have had orthodontics to be able to position the teeth in the right place to be able to then have the crown so that they all gave the right result. And what happened is that some time went on and their teeth moved forward, and they feel like aesthetically they feel like they have too prominent of teeth. They call them buck teeth, and the bottom line is that question is, do I need to get braces again to be able to correct this? And if I do, can I have braces with my crowns? Great question. The answer is, listen, this situation was probably set up such that everything was positioned just right. Orthodontics positioned the teeth so that they were positioned so that the crowns could be done properly without having to reduce or cut down your tooth as much as you would have had to have done if the teeth were out of alignment. And the goal was clearly a cosmetic goal in order to do this, and it's not uncommon to be able to set you up for success with crowns and cosmetic work that needs to have some orthodontics done first to position the teeth properly. Problem is if you don't wear your retainer, your teeth can move, and now aesthetically it's just not as pleasing as it once was, and they have a feeling that it's detracted from their confidence and their comfort around other people. So can this be rectified? Well, there's probably a few ways you can do it. Yes, you can have orthodontics or braces put on your teeth. You can have brackets that can be bonded onto your crowns. We usually try to refrain from doing that, however, because bonding it on, you have to somewhat affect the outer surface, the smooth layer on the outside of the crown. And some of these crowns that are made these days have surface colors that aren't simply intrinsic in the actual porcelain itself. Maybe in addition to that, they might have some surface characterization, surface color to it to be able to give a lifelike appearance. Well, if that's only on the surface, and you have to affect that surface, and that bracket, that the old wire and steel brackets, or even ceramic brackets these days, requires us to be able to have to treat the surface or etch it to be able to make it somewhat porous so that your cement adheres and locks in at a microscopic level to hold that bracket on. The brackets are there because in order to move a tooth, you need usually a handle or a grip. Well, that's what that is, to be able to hold the wire, to be able to put the force on the teeth, to be able to move them. Well, they probably had this orthodontics done before they had the crowns, and now that they have the crowns, there can be some concerns about putting that bracket on there. It can be done, it's just that when it comes off, hopefully there's not a little space that's the same size as the bracket that's affecting the look of the crown. So there could be an issue with that. Can it be done? Absolutely, but not without some risk to the potential of how the crowns look in the end. And then getting the bracket off, you should obviously be informed that you may have to redo all the crowns or some of the crowns after it's said and done. So orthodontically, if they're really out of alignment, maybe the best way is to then go. The other option is, depending on how long the crowns have been there, redo the crowns in a different position. If you don't want to do that, then probably your next best option is to do orthodontics without brackets, and that's when you have to come in. Everyone's probably these days heard about Invisalign. Invisalign essentially are bracketless tooth movement, and it's great because there are a series of specially designed aligners, clear aligners, and often we can refer to them as trays that you will place over top of the teeth that hug around the inside, the top, and the outer part of your teeth, and put pressure on your teeth to be able to systematically, through each aligner that you would progress to, move your teeth back into position. If I were you, I'd probably try this route at least as your option. That way, essentially, if your crowns are not that old, or you don't really want to have to run the risk of replacing your crowns, then the way to do this is probably with some sort of clear aligners, and the number one way to be able to do that is Invisalign. So I hope that answers your question about can you do orthodontics on teeth that have already had crowns. The answer is yes, but not without some risks to think about, and they can be some costly expenses along with that you have to take into consideration But listen, this is your mouth. This is often known as your money maker and how you are, presenting in front of everyone. So what is it worth, to have a great smile? Well, that's something that you look in the mirror about and understand what to do. But this is your option. This is the Ben and Gary Show. We answer the tough questions, the easy questions. It's because we know dentistry. Take care.